to go. It is July 14th. Wait,
13.
13th. Sorry, wrong date up there. Okay. July 13th, 2024. We have a quorum of 6 members.
Seven.
Seven? Oh, it's Sean.
Sean is on.
Hey, Sean.
You got a full board.
Yep.
Aloha.
So I'll do call to order. With us today, we have Joseph Rosenbaum, myself, Tom Favola, Mark Wapanati. It says Tom.
I know, I made a mistake.
David, we're changing your name to Thomas now.
Oh, thank you. That's a relief.
David Miller, Tony Kitchen, and Mr. William Bohemus, and
Sean Farley.
Farley via online. We'll go ahead and start off with the secretary's report in minutes.
Did everybody have a chance to review the secretary's report?
Yep.
Any questions, comments, anything?
How's the approval process going under the new procedure? Good. Okay.
Anything
Thank
to make
you.
it easy.
Easier than it was last before?
Definitely. Can I get a motion?
I move that we
David
accept the,
moved.
secretary's
Do I get a
report.
second?
I'll second.
David moved. Thomas. You want to call for the?
Yeah, all in favor of that.
Aye.
Let's see. Treasurer's report. Tony, what you got for us?
Okay, I sent out the treasurer's report yesterday. Did everyone see that?
I did.
Couple of comments. I wanted to note that my term is expiring at the end of this year, and I may not be running again for the board. One of the challenges that we have with our current constitution and bylaws is the officers being assigned a January or February meeting. That kind of leads to a problem with continuity of operations, especially given the fact that a treasurer's position needs some training. And so, and they need to be up and running December and January. And so I'm not quite sure how to do that. The only things that I could think of was maybe we have everyone running for the board do some basic training, maybe in December. And then at least whoever gets assigned at the subsequent year is not going in totally in the dark.
Yeah, give it a little bit of basic training, replacement training. And
Okay.
That's the only suggestion that I have. So to that end, I just wanted to make sure that everyone has seen the schedule that I use. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen. See the entire screen. There. Be coming up here shortly. Okay. Here we go. I know it's basically I can change that view mode here. Let's see. What's that? Should be another view that would make this bigger, don't you think?
Yeah, there is a view mode for it that will make it full screen. The easier way is just to make it full screen on your laptop and let it sit over the top of Google Meets. Because everyone else will still see it. On the
Yeah, so
meeting.
my presentation is on this computer on full screen.
Okay.
So I don't think I can do that. But what you're seeing here is the basic spreadsheet. It's there's a whole bunch of tabs at the bottom. I'm looking at the payment tab right now. And this is the master list of payments broken down by the total amount paid, what goes to dues, what goes to infrastructure, humanitarian. We have to break apart the PayPal. So there's the convenience fee less the PayPal fee. So PayPal takes a certain slice of that convenience fee. Everyone pays 10%. PayPal takes about half of that, roughly, varies. Basically we record and total at the bottom. And these values, you can see this particular spreadsheet, I've got all the way back to 2020. When I scroll down to the bottom, we'll get to this year. 2024, here's 2025. And basically, I show off to the right each deposit. So for example, at the bottom there, the last set of deposits I made was for $342.50. So the all the subcategories from dues, infrastructure fund, humanitarian, PayPal, all those added together should equal the total deposit amount. And in this case, 1736.75. And you notice that if you look at the financial statement, that's all of those categories reflected there under income, and that balances. But so this detail is what typically people don't see. You just see the financial summary of it. Also, there's another tab here for the PayPal breakdown. There's a tab, there's a sheet for disbursements. And now I've got sheets for each of our funds. So we've got the humanitarian and the infrastructure, and then we've got the 5 committee funds, and there's spreadsheets for each of those. So that's a overview summary of the different detail ledgers that are used when put together, make up the operating statement. Just wanted to give a basic orientation. That's all I got.
Okay. Quick question. So when I write out the report, can I say that you may not run again, or should I not put that in, or what do I do?
Leave it out for now.
Okay.
We're still kind of early, and
So you don't want me to say anything about the replacement training or anything?
No, put in there that we discussed the likely training needed for the eventual replacement of the treasurer.
Okay, got you.
If anyone wants more details, it's all going to be on the recording.
Right.
so any questions about the report or how we get to that?
You say we
Is-
now have 60 members?
Yeah, we hit 60
Okay.
this month.
Is the training you're thinking of purely just on the club's accounting, or does it include training on nonprofit accounting concepts?
Well, I think it would just be the clubs, but there would be a little bit of that concept.
Well, I wonder if there's some sort of online training out there from any of the nonprofit support entities that just might be good for board members to take in general, so they understand what accounting for a nonprofit is like.
Yeah, the problem is most of those online trainings are going to cover fund accounting, which is on not necessarily a cash.
Yeah, I
basis.
was thinking simpler
Yeah.
training than
And
that.
so since we're on a cash basis, slightly modified cash basis, which is the simplest, very simple. If you took any kind of training, that would be more of an accrual type basis, and it would make it seem far more complicated than it needs to be. So I'm not sure if that's worth recommending or not. Because we try to keep it pretty simple here. Basically I just list when it comes to the financial statement, I'm going to list all the dues paid for the current year on that year. So even if we receive dues in December of 2025, paying for the 2026 dues year, those aren't going to go onto the financial statement until January. And oftentimes I'll just accumulate those monies in December and I'll take them to the bank on January 1st. We'll keep it simple.
I wonder if we could ask VOAD to help, because it's not just for BIARC. I've noticed this in general with a lot of the nonprofits I'm associated with, that people don't understand, especially Hawaii's implementation of governance and accounting responsibility for a nonprofit corporation. I wonder if they could help provide a guidance document, online training, something that could help all of their member organizations, because nonprofits go through board members like underwear. I mean, it's,
Yeah, so there's two filings, one with the DCCA and one for the IRS, annual filings. They have to be done electronically. And they've been relatively easy to do. However, I think this year's filing has gotten a little bit harder because you can't just log in with the username and a password. You have to get the official government, what do they call it? What's that website? You remember, William, that you got to go through to get an official government recognition. They have a new,
well, DCCA has their registration portal. Is that the one you're talking
no,
about?
at the federal level, they had
Oh.
implementing a new
I
way to prove your identity.
don't know, because I know that because I did it before that existed, but they use ID.me as an identification
Yeah, that's one of the
verification
services.
services, but I think that's for individuals. I don't know what it is for an organization.
And then they had another one. Clear seems to ring a bell. Can't remember the exact name of it, but basically you have to go through a process where
Is it Identgo? Is that it?
there's 3 or 4 vendors
Yeah.
that the federal government will recognize, but essentially they all do the same thing. You have to upload your valid photo ID, AI scans it, and they threaten to interview you also. I actually tried to get mine, but my ID had expired and I haven't got mine. So I'm actually having trouble right now filing the
So it's
IRS form.
sort of an
Excuse me.
extended background check kind of.
Well, it's not really a background check. They're just trying to make you prove who you are. And
Yeah.
they like raise the bar.
Yeah, they used to use DNB for it, but they went away from that, that's like the commercial version of Experian and other credit accounting services. Yeah, it's
Does this relate to us or VOAD? I'm kind of lost here.
all
Well,
nonprofit
anyone.
entities.
All not
Well, all
Everyone
commercial
has to
entities too.
file,
commercial.
no matter,
Yeah, all entities with a tax ID.
and they've made it more difficult now through these ID requirements. And I actually haven't solved the problem yet for this year. Fortunately, I still have a couple months. But yeah, that's a good point. It seems like a moving target. And although we're not required by law to follow the generally accepted accounting principles because we are doing less than $50,000 worth of transactions. And if we went over the $50,000 mark in a year, then we'd be required to follow the generally accepted accounting principles. What's that, GAAP?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's called GAAP.
But this is why I'm saying that a guidance document in simple terms, we're not talking about training you to be an accountant, but something like that could really
A
benefit
baseline.
every board member.
And so the way I see it, my role as the treasurer is not to follow to the letter generally accepted accounting principles. My role is to help the board and the membership understand our financial position.
You're our interpreter.
Yeah,
too,
how much money we have, where the money goes, because just because you write up something that follows generally accepted accounting principles does not mean everybody on the board would understand that document. Accountants would understand that document, but not necessarily everyone,
Right.
including the membership, maybe they don't have an accounting background. So
Mhm.
I've always tried to keep it simple, as opposed to following generally accepted accounting principles to the letter. And that's why I said modified cash basis, which basically means until the money's actually been paid, until I've done a PayPal transaction or written a reimbursement check, the expense doesn't show up in the monthly statement, right? Whereas if you were using an accrual system, you would put in that expense the moment it's incurred, even though it's not paid. And then you maintain separate balances for accounts receivable and accounts payable, and it's more complicated. Anyone that has run a business understands that can get kind of hairy. So we run on a modified cash basis. Basically, expenses only show up when we pay them. And before that, it's just a fiction in our mind, right? It's not on the books. And income only shows up in the year for which it's being applied. We should consider. Let's all look to see if we can find any kind of training that might cover this topic.
Yeah, I mean, SBA may have something, but it'd be great if there was also something that was Hawaii specific, because we've got specific requirements that are, I mean, they're not burdensome, they're just, little nuances.
Yeah. All right, no movable actions. Any more
Yeah, we got
questions?
the,
We have to approve the treasurer's report.
treasurer's
Derek,
So I move to approve subject audit.
I'll second that.
seconds. All in favor of approving?
Aye.
All right. Let's see. So we'll move on to committee reports. Digital systems. Luke McKay. Anybody else in this room on the digital systems committee? Sean, do you have any update for the digital systems? Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, just turning on the mic. No, unfortunately, I didn't make it to the meeting. I was working, but I do know Luke has some notes, some minutes that he is trying to compile and summarize. And as well, you might be aware, BIARC bought 3 G2s. So we are, as a club, we're in the game when it comes to Meshtastic. The other stuff, you'd have to ask Gary, Luke, and I'm not sure who else was in the meeting.
So I did talk with Gary last night after the net, and I got the request from Luke to buy the 3 G2s. I went ahead and bought 4 G2s, and that gave us a discount to get 4 at a time. So I believe it was $111.05 a piece. That 4th one, if BIARC doesn't want it, I'll just reimburse BIARC and keep it for myself. But if anybody else wants it, it's going to be available at cost, I think.
Roughly, what are the costs on those?
$111.05.
Not bad.
The reason why I bought 4 is you get the discount, and we've been having supply chain problems.
Yep.
We've been running out of stock.
Oh,
No, I think that was a good call.
Yeah, it's there.
So I just bought that from our PayPal account, and in this financial statement, you notice that it's only $333. So that's for 3 of them is allocated to the Digital Systems Committee. The 4th one is likely we'll just reimburse by whoever ends up buying it. Like I said, if no one else wants it, I'll buy it. Oh, and Gary said that the Pepicale location is likely where the first G2 is going to be installed. The Mauna Kea is the other location that they decided for sure. He wasn't positive whether it would be Pepicale or Mauna Loa that was going first. But those 2 were for sure. The 3rd location that they had proposed, I'm not sure how viable it is. But I won't poo-poo their ideas. I'll let them run into whatever they run into. Was to see if we could convince Civil Defense to let us have a pole like up the fence of the Fulani site or something like that. Seems to me like a long shot. It would require a lot of arm twisting. And the right person to go on their knees and beg. So that was.
What do you mean? I am not in their good graces at the moment. You don't want me talking to them.
My last conversation with Bill Hansen there was that as soon as he gets a pole up at the new property that he's acquiring, that we could have a spot on that pole too. Just I'll keep you guys apprised what he lets me know as we go.
But
But
just let the Digital Systems.
yeah,
Chair know, let Rick know, and, they'll decide what to do with it.
Awesome.
Kulani didn't seem like a good site in my mind because you need filtering. You need additional filtering. At 950 megahertz, there's gotta be other stuff.
No,
Yeah,
no,
No?
Kalani's pretty clear at 900.
really?
That actually might be a perfect spot.
Yeah, it'd be a great spot for it.
Oh, okay.
Actually, and what I would actually recommend is possibly replacing the receive antenna for the Kalani repeater. I believe that the antenna that we used, though to a price point, which is why we used it, the Diamond X50 NA, may be prone to intermodulation, and that's where a lot of the poor performance, the popcorn and whatnot came from. I think if we went to a higher quality antenna that has good intermodulation performance, we might get better receive, but then we can also possibly run an antenna that also supports 900 and park it on that antenna on the tower, which would give it 50 additional feet.
All right. Well, hey, let's move on down to education and outreach. You guys have been busy.
Yeah, we had it busy, despite the fact that we haven't been engaged with the elementary school and the Museum of Science and Technology. We've had a busy summer. And it was officially paused over the summer, that program. We've continued our association with BOAD, monthly meetings primarily, and our monthly meetings here as well. And we've got a new schedule established with the Hawaii Museum of Science for the coming year. So that's been formalized with ourselves and them. And what else have we done? We attended the Oxcom summit meeting last month, and that was quite an event. And out of that, there's going to be Oxcom training, which some of us have received in the past, but August 2 and 3 have been set up as a special training for Hawaii, or the island of Hawaii. So I think the participation, there's lots of hoops to jump through, first prerequisite courses, etc.
Real fast. The prerequisite courses must be taken care of before August 2nd date there.
Right.
And you just, even if you've taken it beforehand and you still have your credentials, they just need proof of credentials and taking that. So just make sure you keep that in the back of your head. You have to do a little bit of online stuff, but even if you did it before, just pull up the old email or whatever and
Although-
it'll go towards it.
Maybe consider doing it again if it's been a long time. I took mine in 2004 and they took it when I took the Oxcom class, whenever it was before COVID. But it's always good to refresh yourself on it.
Yeah.
I had to teach an in-person ICS course the other day and I was a touch rusty before I did it. So
Refresh, yeah.
I did a refresher and it was worth it.
Okay,
Okay.
who's going to attend in our group here?
I'm gonna try. So I can
I'm
get
gonna
that
attend.
last,
I did the same one William did, I think, in
Mhm.
Kona, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it as a refresher.
Well, is there a limited number of seats?
Yeah.
30.
Yes.
Yeah, so I won't attend since I'm already certified. I'll leave the seat open for somebody else.
I said I'd attend on the basis that
Yeah.
there was a seat available, yeah. So, yeah, so more to come on that.
But if they don't fill the seats, I will attend because if nothing else, showing a good turnout.
Yeah.
Will help bring additional training in the future.
Okay, yeah, that's
How
how
feds
I'm
work.
attending, yeah.
Mm.
If there's an unfilled seat, I'll take it. Okay. And we have, what else will be done? Well, the rest is scheduled. We have participation in the siren test, the regular monthly test. Tony hosts that on the on a KF repeater, right? Yeah, and a number of us attend that on a regular basis. And the Glenwood Emergency Preparedness Fair was held this year, August 3rd, August 5th. Joe and I attended that in Glenwood, or in
Fern Forest.
Glenwood, Fern Forest, yeah, up in that area. Anyway, that was interesting. It wasn't really so much I mean, we were attending there as BIARC representatives, but it was more emergency preparation and communication. And there wasn't much really radio involved. It
Did you
was,
mean July 3rd?
I'm sorry, yes, I did mean July 3rd, yeah. What did I say, August?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was July 3rd, yeah. So that was interesting anyway, and that was kind of a first step for them, getting this rolling on an annual basis. It was well attended. A lot of local participation there, and different groups within that larger community were there as well.
Who were some
So-
of the groups?
well, there was Eden Rock, and there was Fern Forest and Glenwood, and they were all a lot of neighborhood watch groups and some CERTs, and
You had, the Salvation
Yeah.
Army representative, Vibrant Hawaii,
yeah,
a couple other groups. I can't remember the names right now, but, several groups, what was it? Not an assembly person, and it's, couple of political people were there, I forget, representative or whatever.
Bill Hanson.
Bill
and,
Hanson was
Talmadge
there.
Was there, and yeah, so there was good representation. Yeah, so and then July 12th, July 13th, which is today. We had July 12th was Revitalize Puna, which was yesterday. It's in Pahoa. That was at the Billy Canoe facility, and it was really impressive. That was the first time I've been there. It's a huge big gymnasium. Radio didn't work that well, but Jim and I were there representing BIARC, and again, a full representation from all the people in that emergency.
So when you said radio didn't work very well, you were having problems on 2-meter?
Yeah,
HF?
we set up an X30 out behind, and it was behind a metal mesh.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really getting out. We could pick up the Clowney, but we couldn't get out to it. But in the end, we didn't really need it because we were kind of overwhelmed by just, it was an adult fair rather than children. So it was a different kind of venue for us. And there were a lot of people that, oh, my father used to do this, and I have a brother and he's a ham. And so it was a lot of talk about the radio rather than being on the radio. So, but it was very good exposure for us. So we had 2 full pages of signups for people that are interested in training or more information. So we got a huge big sign up list there. What do you think, Jim? What's your impression of that event yesterday?
I think it was a lot better than I expected.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very good. It was CERT and civil defense centric, but everybody was there, Salvation Army and the Red Cross, and pretty well everybody in that type of community was there. So it's very well attended. So that was a good event. And Doug Wilson will have lots of material to work with on the next training class, I think. And what else we got here? August 19th, we start our new year with the schools, with KL Elementary School. So that'll be our first school in the new year. And we'll be using our release form at that event as well. So that'll be the first real school event where we ask people to release for photos. And that's about it. Oh, Lee Critchlow, Lee's not on, but she donated a cart to the BIARC today, a hand cart for going in and out with radios and equipment from the event. So
Very nice.
thanks, Lee.
Thanks, Lee.
That's it.
How are we doing with flyers?
We ran out of flyers yesterday. Yeah, we were overwhelmed, as I said, and we had a good supply going in, but they got. But Jim's prepared. He's going to print off a bunch.
So I'll see if I can order some more areas.
Okay, great. Yeah, we've got lots of ARRL forms. So, but The one that's, what is ham radio or what?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, we could use more of those.
Just to add to that, if, I don't think I have a link to it, but if you have a link to the Google Docs for those specific documents, I can print up a few more QR codes since, kids and
Yeah.
people these days, they love QR codes. They'll click it and they don't even know what it goes to,
Mhm.
but it'll be helpful. Cause,
Yeah.
even I've had a few people ask me like, hey, how do I get involved? And if I have 5 seconds, I'd rather have them click my link and then go to the website and, or read the, what is ham radio these days.
Yeah.
So we'll keep in touch on
Okay.
that part.
So we won't have the ARRL one, that's their copyright, but we can get the flyers for free.
Yeah.
And I imagine we can post it on the website, put a QR code to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We might have to ask permission.
Yeah, the glossary.
Maybe they have a QR code on that leads to their
Right.
website probably.
I mean, if they have a PDF on their website, I can link straight to their website as well. So it's whatever makes it easiest,
Yeah.
especially these days.
Any questions on, you'll see? going
Just
forward?
one comment, any BIARC materials, we've kind of moved into the Google Workspace now. And you'll notice that there's a public folder where you can put public version of documents. And so if you have any document that you want to host, you can put under the public folder. There's a folder called restricted, and under the restricted folder, that's for all the board members. There are folders for the president, secretary, treasurer. And so that should be our home for everything BIARC. We should, you can keep stuff in your own personal Google Drive, keep a copy if you like, but just make sure the updates get put to the BIARC folders.
So are we still using the Dropbox?
I'm not.
Okay, so that it was actually adopted as the official repository at one point. So do we need to actually declare the Google Workspace as our new official electronic repository?
Yeah, probably.
If that's where everything's going, we should probably load everything retroactive. from
Yeah,
the-
Migrate everything from the
Yeah,
Dropbox and
migrate
then
it all. You could still keep it as a redundancy as well and just note that it's there, but that's twice the work at that point.
if we're gonna do that, we should do it before a new board gets installed, since, those of us who were around when the Dropbox was being used, transition the knowledge and just, hey, going forward, this is the new repository of the Google Workspace.
Yeah.
So I move that we complete that migration by the November board meeting,
I'll second that.
and that we declare the Google Drive associated with board dot,
It's BIARC.board.
biarc.board@google.com as the official club repository for electronic records.
I'll second that.
Thomas already did.
Yeah, so all in favor?
Aye.
Yep. All right.
I feel like our de facto parliamentarian.
Operating activities.
Okay. Well, we recently had field day, and I'm sure as many of you know, it didn't turn out that great. We had some antenna and radio issues, which you said you would address.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn that into the program for today. I'm still working on getting the approval for the guest speaker through Hawaii DOD. Hawaii DOD is notoriously difficult to get stuff through. I thought a half a year would be enough time. It's not. So I'm still working on getting that guest speaker in, but this time we're gonna talk about the field day, the experiences, but also talk specifically about the, uses and limitations of the club's equipment and whatnot.
Okay, also, I'm gonna start planning for the CQ Worldwide Single Sideband Contest on October 25th. And in conjunction with the Education Outreach Committee, we're gonna look into, World Amateur Radio Day. I believe it's beginning of next year, sometime next year. And that's the end of the operating fees report.
Just a real quick one on the issues that we had with the field day antenna. We were missing a few radials and whatnot. I was-
And, counterpoise.
Yeah, yep. So I'm gonna go and price out just wire, what it would take to make some that could
It-
just stay with
Him
that.
with radials, where are they?
Who knows? I don't know where it came.
Roy said he had them, I think. Roy already made one.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's, so that the ATAS 120 comes with a set of radials. Yep.
The four off the Ford is
Mhm.
missing one again. So we're missing that one and then the ground plane, just having those ground.
Yeah, but it's,
radials.
we'll talk about this in the program. It's one or the other. You can't use both.
No. Well, there was a bit of confusion about that part too, so now we know. Okay, thank you for,
I have some plans for making an antenna for our next field operation.
Well, and that's something I'm going to push, is that we bought that antenna for when there's no other antenna to use. It doesn't mean we have to use that antenna for every field day and stuff. You know, it's that there's always an antenna available for all bands that the radio can support.
And I
It's
had some
always the problem.
suggestions, about that. Do you want me to go out, talk to you about that in the program?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I kind of see this to be a roundtable discussion with a little bit of informed content.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the little bits and pieces that are always missing,
Mm.
the Allen wrench and, it's.
having a redundancy would be good, but
Yeah.
and everybody having their own idea and having something on hand in the trunk of their car, we could always use a rig expert to just check to make sure it's safe and then try it out.
Yeah.
We're all about experimentation. We'll bring that up in the meeting.
And one of the things I want to bring up in the meeting is the possibility of the club owning a second antenna, something that's like a hex beam or something that's
Mhm.
made for portable use, but provides some significant performance. But, how to go about that and what exactly it is we want, that's part of the larger discussion.
Very good.
I did ransack my truck, just sort of, sorry, just to interrupt. To try and find those, the radials, but.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
sent them,
smallest one too.
I sent it, well, I think we're talking about two different things. One, we're missing the piece that goes into the 70 centimeter around the ring,
Mhm.
right? That's number one. Plus, we're missing the floor radio, or the ground radios.
Yeah, the ground rails don't come with it.
Okay, so
Those do need to be made. They
we
need
need.
Yeah. So I'll cover all this in the program.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's see. Program, you kind of just touched on that anyways, or?
Yeah, and I just forgot what next month's program is. I have a program for next month. I can't remember what it is. I'll send out an update, because I also need to confirm a couple of other guest speakers for the future and whatnot. But I have programs lined out all the way until the November board meeting.
I'm working on a video to actually just play it as an 8-minute clip or something and to add to a program, and we don't have enough filler, but experiencing a lot of RFI in other ways, like a pickup truck that we picked up. If I key up or try and key into the repeater, it turns the head unit on in the truck. So, videos of that, and it'll actually have a real world showing of what's going on around
Just like my
us.
digital HF rig turns on the light on my desk.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. So the appliance operator thing is real, but yeah.
You obviously didn't work it on 80 or 160.
No.
You could loop this. and put it on the-
Anything else?
Yeah.
I've got a couple things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we've got
I
the
actually
screen
did
and
not
we've got-
forget about the idea of doing a survey. I started to put one together,
Yeah.
but had to
Do it
move on
from
to other
there.
projects.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
the list is the BIAC member list is in pretty good shape. I still need to find some of the email addresses and get them into the database of the new members, but as soon as I have that put together, I should be able to do the survey. Also, William and I think David, we were, last month, we formed a ad hoc committee to update the constitution bylaws, right?
Right.
We haven't had time to meet. But I haven't forgotten. I think about that routinely. We need to definitely, the person that's probably going to be the hardest to capture will be William.
Yeah.
So William, I would suggest that you propose a date and time and email David and I to make sure we can meet that.
Okay.
I can set up the meeting.
Yep.
But just propose a time and we'll adhere to your schedule. How's that?
Yeah, it's actually probably pretty wise now that I think about it.
Hmm.
Okay, and, you know, I mean, a couple days notice should be fine. I have more than I can handle, but I have a flexible schedule, so.
Yeah. My best day of availability is Sundays
I can do that.
because I'm rarely off island on Sundays.
Except for Bayark Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I can
available.
do Sundays too, yeah.
Oh, one third item. Everyone probably noticed that, I had at one point developed an adaptive website that worked pretty well for the Android phone and the, tablets. You notice our website, if you bring it up, fireark.net on a Android phone, it's tiny and very hard to navigate. I'm sure any person under 40 that brings up fireark.net on their Android phone or iPhone is going to look at that and say, well, that's an old man's website from the 90s. You know, it's definitely not using modern technology. The advantage of the website is it's got, it doesn't require a lot of bandwidth. You know, very small file sizes, except for PDF downloads. And it's native HTML. So anybody that does HTML, that's all you need to know. And it's, to me, HTML is like the simplest thing in the world to learn. So when I did the adaptive website, our host service provider provides that content management system, not Dreamweaver, WordPress. So they operate on WordPress. We have the option of developing a WordPress site that would be adaptive. There's a little bit more complexity with WordPress. You know, they have trainings that you can go to. To me, moving to WordPress, in my opinion, would make it harder to find a replacement for me rather than easier.
However, there are WYSIWYG editors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what I do. I use HTML5, which is a WYSIWYG editor, and I copy and paste the HTML into the document. I also used AI. There's lots of sites now that will convert tables to
There's-
HTML.
There is a third option. There are, I don't know if Namecheap offers it, but there are providers that provide an M.dot interpreter of your basic HTML website. So it detects that it's a mobile device and it interprets it into a mobile friendly format.
Okay. So the other thing relating to the website was having a live link to an online database. I had created an online database in Caspio. I created a live link to that pulled our membership records, only showed the people who had paid and built an alphabetized membership list. Right now I'm doing it manually because since that other website, I didn't really keep that running. We're just back to the old HTML version. But our web host, so our DNS is namecheap.com and our web host is Dream. I forget Dream something. I forget the exact name. But our web host includes an online database capability. So we have the ability to run a WordPress site. Right now, we're just running the straight HTML version, and we can have online database capabilities. I was actually considering just having AI develop a replacement database. I didn't really like the Caspio because it had some downsides to it, some limitations, and it wasn't simple either. I'm looking for something simple. But moving our membership records to online would be a good idea for continuity of operations because it allows people to self-service their records. Right now, being the treasurer is a bottleneck. Every time a new member joins, I manually put their stuff into the spreadsheet. I manually add them to the website. I manually add them to the member roster, the sign-in forms. And then I got to tell William, which I always forget to do, that we've got a new member to, add to the Kulani Gateway. We just need to apply some automation to this stuff. And the basis of that is an online database.
Yeah, well, and I think it'd be trivially easy to set it up with the PayPal donate functionality to where they could look at their status and then click, and then it would automatically bring up the donation window, but pre-populate the information that never gets carried over into that.
Yeah, PayPal does have an ability, I believe, to kind of combine a form. They don't call it donate anymore. It's like a different mechanism than the donate button that PayPal has to incorporate a form that captures some information that then would flow into a database. Just at the time I set that up, it was more complexity than I was willing to deal with at the moment, and I'm sure it's still an option.
Yeah, so it still comes up with a donate when I click the link on the buyer's
That's what we're
webpage.
using now. I use the donate because it was the simplest.
Yeah.
But it does not really capture. Apparently there's a line that some people get and some people claim they don't see it, that allows you to put in a note when you donate. But
Yeah, not everybody
not
gets
everybody
that.
seems to get
I think
it.
it depends on which browser and whether you're using a mobile device.
Yeah, I have no idea what the criteria is, but some people put a note in there. Some people send me an email that says, hey, I just, put a donate. And I have had a problem with it because more than once, the PayPal came in, I logged into PayPal and I found some strange name of a company that I'd never heard of. I had no way of connecting that to a person and a call sign.
Right.
And so I had to send back to the email address and say, who are you?
Yeah.
What's your call sign?
Yeah. Call
And,
sign, name.
One time I didn't get a response. I still have one outstanding person that paid a few months ago. I guess I have to bug them, follow up with them.
Yeah.
Who are you again?
Yeah, maybe put it in the newsletter. Hey, this is an issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that if we had the online database tied option, then we could do a mask that sits in front of that carries the details over and builds a comment in PayPal. And I think that would make the treasurer's life a lot easier. So like if there's a new member, they click on the new member link and it brings up and it sends a flag for new member, and then they're required to enter their call sign before they ever get to the PayPal window. Because you can do that with that interface. The PayPal interface lets you use delineations in the address to automatically populate data.
But those things are what's necessary for us to grow.
Yeah.
I have never marketed. I've never even followed up with previous members and said, hey, your membership expired, because I knew that I would not be able to handle any influx. I'm getting by barely with this by the skin of my teeth, being able to just put in the new members that we're getting. And I'm barely keeping up with that. If we had an increase in volume, I wouldn't be keeping up.
Sounds like automation is really the way to go.
Automation needs to happen.
So do you need any action from the board? Any approvals or anything?
No, I just wanted to make sure everyone understands where our status is, unless you want to approve a chief technology officer or an IT specialist position.
So since we're still in the programs report, I looked up my notes. What I did is I moved the hurricane season presentation to next month. I'm hoping to get the 93rd CST speaker into that, but if not, this is going to give me time to rework it into a standalone presentation anyways. So it's going to talk about how to keep your antennas safe, how to keep your rig safe, plus the basic preparation side. So that's next month, it's July. So it's August, which is still timely for hurricane season. And then after that, we've got 10 meter technicians operations introduction. And that will build on the presentation that we have today, because we're actually going to let the technicians use the FT991A live here as we do it and start getting people out on HF.
Nice.
So that's the next two coming up. And then Sean, yeah, you're still on. Have you gotten any feedback from Jesse WH6AV on being a guest speaker?
No, I haven't. I did email him. I did notice that he showed up on the Discord as well as he's involved with Meshtastic still.
Oh, I didn't know
So-
he showed up on the Discord, so that's cool.
Yeah, I invited him onto our Discord, so he kind of lurks around. I think it's as some of you may know that use the Discord, if you're on green or yellow, just idle, you will show up on those links, those channels that you are part of. So he's part of the BIARC server as well. So
All right, well, if you give it one more shot and reach out to him, and if he doesn't respond, we'll just strike it from the ideas.
okay, yeah, I'll reach out to him again. I have a few things I want to discuss, as well as Arden and All Stars. So there'll be a few things.
So that's it for programs
Okay.
with the detour.
Sorry about that. I thought-
No, it works.
Okay, I'm sorry, Thomas just had to leave, and I just realized I don't have an agenda in front of me, so what's?
Well,
what's
I
the
move
next
that we
agenda?
recess for a few minutes.
Okay,
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
thanks, Ron.
VP calls for vote.
Yeah.
So we need a vote.
Vote.
Done.
Yes.
5-minute recess. So Thomas isn't coming back.
Yes, he'll be
Yes.
back, yep.
We declared a 5-minute recess.
Thank you. Sorry. Had to start it out real fast.
I just realized I didn't have an agenda.
Oh, shoot. I should have slid my phone over to you. Thanks.
Yeah.
There were no actionable items.
No, it was, we wrapped up the programs.
Hey, Joe,
Yeah,
one comment. When you send out your agenda,
Oh,
could you go ahead and CC the biarc.board@gmail.com account? That's the account that's always up on these computers.
And it's now our official repository, so that will help
Yeah, and it
Okay.
drop
makes
it into the official
easier for me to
repository.
Display something on the screen instead of having to switch to my personal account.
okay, no problem. I'll be right back.
So I think I've got, reading between the manuals for everything, I think I've got a way set up to where we can use all 3 microphones with this now and feed it into Google Meet. So we'll give that a try in this
What
presentation.
about the output to that boombox?
No, that's what I'm saying, is that so what I think we can do is use the receiver and plug it to the line in here. And then that also allows the microphone here to work in parallel. It's multi-channel. And then we take the combined audio here and pipe it into Google Meet as the microphone input. And that way, all 3 microphones, the 2 Rode microphones plus the JBL microphone, are then active. So we can have even a 3rd microphone now. Sure. It's currently turned down. There's
No worries. I'm just checking to see if there's
Hey, William?
quarter 20 or anything.
no, it's all on here. So there's a microphone input here. There's a guitar input here, and then there's an aux input here.
That just means that you hook it up to a little tripod or something.
Yeah.
William?
Yeah.
Several talk, since you're gonna be talking about the club radio setup during the meeting.
Mhm.
I've been building an ATAS kit. Can I go ahead and bring it?
Oh, that'd be
And
great.
then I can get some constructive
Feedback.
feedback.
Yep,
Okay,
absolutely.
Sounds great.
I'm gonna just-
Yeah.
How many, this is.
Several people have mentioned that they would like a more basic presentation
My
on
20,000 one looks the
VHF
same, but it's this
focused
big.
programming handhelds or just VHF topics,
Hmm.
And it does
beginners
too.
level.
If you ever need.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm getting the feedback that our programs are typically over the heads of a good number of people that are coming to the meetings.
Mhm.
I might just do a battery
And just
one of these days too.
for future
Explain some of the
consideration,
newer stuff we got going.
Maybe
Oh,
we
that'd be
could
good.
come up with a
That'd be
way
good.
to split out a small group of people who
I'll
would
be
like
right back. Just start it off.
that kind of training. I'd be willing to to kind of take over that function, or maybe you could find someone else, but we don't have to do it every month, but once in a while, we could split off into two groups. And maybe I take 3 or 4 or 5 people and go over basic topics like programming in HD, programming in repeater, how VFO mode works, how frequency mode works versus channel mode, how to control your squelch settings, really basic.
Yeah,
We could do that in the extra hour between 4 and 5, right?
Social time, but maybe.
Not necessarily, because we also, designated that for breakout sessions, and that could be a breakout session. But I also don't see why we couldn't do it as a, as a recurring segment, maybe.
The only thing is I'd like to publish it in advance so that we can get the word out in the newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, people may not come if they think that only you're talking about advanced topics that are above their head.
yeah, that's good. I've heard the same sort of comments.
Okay. Well, Mark requests that we just keep going here.
So, we're back at 112. We went to break, we went to recess.
Call the order.
Oh,
Call
yeah,
order.
so call the order. Do I have to relist everybody
No.
present? No.
Mark's on his way back.
So next item is public service communications, and I know Les is the head of that. Ooh,
I'm on the committee.
you're on the committee. Any update?
Did you have something, Jim?
Oh, I'm on that committee too,
Oh, okay.
but there is an issue coming up, but it's already posted in the newsletter.
Which was the what?
The Veterans Parade this November. We'll be looking for volunteers to help parade people started and get the parade going in an orderly fashion. And then even if you're in the parade, we'll put you in a place where you can jump on your boat and go with them when you go. And that way we know everybody's going.
Is that where they talked about using GMRS or FRS?
Yeah, that was because I have 6 GMRS radios that we could use there. That way we don't have to worry about somebody else jumping in on the conversation. So it's just, I have a couple of guys in American Legion and maybe somebody from VFW, but so be asking for a couple of guys from Bayard possibly come in and help at that time. We'll get more information on it later. Debbie, who runs these random parade for the last 10 years. She needs some people who are a little more coordinated to coordinate, make sure that the parade gets going and doesn't have big gaps between the
So would you have marshals along the way, or?
well, there's more, it's gonna be spread out at the staging area. We'll meet at the staging area, make sure people get lined up right, make sure that they go when they're supposed to go. So that one group's not 15 minutes behind the other one.
So it could be a fairly big participation from the club.
Well, she said about 6 people would be enough
Oh, yeah.
total. So
And would they be spaced out along the route, or would they follow?
no. This is all just at the staging area. Get there a little bit early, make sure people, there's gonna be signs to play. Why are the things like the election placards? And I've got a bunch of the flag things I got from Sheldon and paint on who's gonna be where. And then line them up and make sure people go where they're supposed to go. And then as the groups go out, if you're gonna be in it with the group, jump on their trailer and go with them. But it's to get a little more coordination with people who are a little more used to using the radio. Like Harvey, Marmoto, and from American Legion. They're gonna be great guys from there. Whoever else comes.
I'll try and help there.
Guys
I have my GMRS license, so
Oh,
I'll definitely be a part of
I
that.
don't, yeah, well, it's always helps to have a GM.
Right.
Let's just
Just
over here, it's
You're
so
definitely
laid
gonna
back.
go,
I
I'd
mean,
like to go
it's-
too.
I used to have one and I just let it expire because nobody cared.
that'll be good. As we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
$85 wasted is what it was.
Sidebar, the FCC is looking at eliminating the GMRS license requirement and making it licensed by rule, much as a Part 27 11 meter CB radio.
Wow.
So
And I just paid for my $35.
Yeah, I know, right? As soon as we actually.
oh no,
go
that
anywhere.
this is something that's been going on for years, but it just finally made it through the next step of the FCC machine.
What's the date on that, Jim?
Saturday, November 8th.
William, maybe you could remember to let Jim talk about that and remind everyone.
Oh yeah.
Well, just right now, just a mention, and then next month there'll be more information.
Mhm.
Be like when the people would be there, which will probably be about 8 o'clock in the morning, not 5:30.
But still, if you, during the announcement section of the meeting coming up, if you'd speak to it, that'd be great. Because the more times you get it in front of their ears, the better.
I was going to open to that planning to mention something about it today, general.
Get it in the back of folks' heads now.
Another thing, if we have time at the meeting, if there's anyone who was at the repeater / digital systems Zoom meeting they did, like if Gary's here or anyone else that was at that meeting, it'd be nice to get a verbal report to the group.
Gary's supposed to be here today. He's supposed to do something for me, so unless he has a medical issue, I imagine he'll be here.
Yeah, it's just, those committees are so important, and sure everybody would want to hear what's up with that, the developments there.
Okay, so we're done with PSCC?
So next up there is, voice repeaters. Who else is on the voice repeaters committee there? Is that name? Trev?
I'm on the committee, but I didn't get sent the invite, so I didn't know they had a meeting.
Might have to table that until,
Okay, I'll just send an email to Trevor and see what he says.
see if he has any update that he can
Yeah.
provide us there.
Yeah.
Move on to old business, meeting days and times. Was there any progress on, I mean, I know we have, that gap at the end of the meeting now where it goes from 4 to 5 o'clock, which is helpful for
No,
general
because
discussion.
we're waiting on the survey. Tony said he hasn't had a chance to get to it yet.
Okay, so we'll table that and circle back to it next month there.
And we're permanently or until further notice, we're at the 12 to 5 o'clock.
That's good.
So
Should I put the survey, or should I just not mention that in the report, or should I say we're looking into it, or?
You could say no progress was made on the membership survey regarding preference of meeting day.
New business. Well, you guys did discuss that already too. The cons and bylaws, edits and archive report.
Okay, so, is there anything else to talk about that?
Nope.
Okay,
That's there. Field day antenna performance.
we talked about
Talked
that.
about that
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we'll delve further with the program.
Mark's coming back with his, I don't know if we want to include that in the discussion. It's off outside the meeting or
Oh, for the
the
antenna.
test. Yeah.
I think we can shoehorn that into the program part because it'll be helpful to have a visual representation of what it's supposed to look like, whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Is there one more, I think there's 4, with the new business, old business and.
Other businesses, raffle committee.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
I think we decided that
We would ask, that was it, yeah, we were gonna ask, Joy
Yeah.
Donovan Sherrod, did you hear anything with that?
She sent me back to me, she asked me to try and find the bill that legislators that voted.
That's right. You emailed me about that and I haven't had a chance to look and respond to you yet.
She has time to write it before so but she wants to see the way the bill was written. And then asked what we would specifically like to see move through on that bill. So she could possibly just write it, which would save a lot of time and energy.
Okay.
Gosh, yeah.
Okay,
Plus
yeah.
she's she's a lot better at writing a lot of these bills and a lot of these other legislative.
Amen.
Attorney and a judge herself, okay?
Oh,
So, so she was a judge at.
Well, and just because she's, aside from all that experience, she's literate compared to some. You should see some of the stuff that comes through.
And I mean, you look at the laws that she writes, the legislation she writes, and she covers all the bases, and that's why you want to see what was written. What, you can examine it, and it just saves her a lot of time and research.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, so that's something that's, it's moving.
It's
but it's
fluid.
moving
Oh, yeah.
slowly.
Hey,
Fair
It
enough.
may happen by next century, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay.
Nobody hold
This
your breath.
state
just in
will be
case.
3,100 before they ever pass or even.
All right. All
So
right.
we're gonna be after Utah.
Anything
right.
else?
I think that's it. I can't think of anything. I'll always try and send you something if I have something in the back of my head.
Yeah.
but Nothing's coming to mind. So, I move that we adjourn this meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Right.
All right.